Okay. We have the Nurnberg on the Tears of the Cruisers map. Now, the Nurnberg is a ship I struggled with. Not because it's a bad ship. It's actually quite a good ship. The problem is it's not the only good ship at its tier. So the Nurnberg is basically a direct upgrade from the Tier 4 Königsberg. So basically anything the Königsberg, the Nurnberg does better. Almost. Pretty much everything. So the problem is pretty much every ship, especially cruiser, at Tier 4 is garbage. The Königsberg was the exception. It is a very strong ship, both in solo, division, and ranked play. It has good fire chance, it has the German 150s, it has the extended sonar, good fire rate and range, maneuverability is decent. The problem is there is no problem with it. The Nurnberg basically does everything better than the Königsberg. It fires quicker. It has a base reload of, I think, 6 seconds over the Königsberg's 8 seconds. The turrets traverse a whole 360 degrees, just like the Königsberg, but they traverse about 7-ish seconds faster. And it has more armor. It doesn't have good armor, but it has more armor. It has 16 millimeters of bow and stern plating, but that's very common with Tier 5 cruisers. So, upgrade, yes, but across the board, not that potent. But the problem is the Nurnberg is not the only good ship at Tier 5, because at Tier 5 you start running into a lot of very large caliber guns. You start seeing a lot. There was a pretty good smack from, I'm not sure who that was exactly, but you start running into a lot of larger caliber guns. You start seeing a lot more 203s, you start seeing a lot of 305s. If you get bottom tiered or down tiered, you start seeing a lot of Tier 6 ships, especially battleships, which comprise of 380 and, in some cases, like the Colorado, 406 millimeter guns. All of which will completely cut through your bow and stern armor like it was non-existent, hitting the Citadel on the way through. Usually for most, if not all, of your health. So that's the issue with the Nurnberg. Again, it does everything better than the Königsberg. The problem is every other ship in ship class also kind of steps up its game. So yes, this is a great ship, but the competition is a lot more fierce. So about this ship, again, the reload's good, or the reload is better than the Königsberg, but the reload itself is still pretty good. 6 seconds, 22-ish second. I'm clicking my pen. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the microphone or not. 23 second turret traverse, 33 knots top speed. That's without commander skills or speed flags. You have a 10% fire chance. Now, it's interesting because the game and the wiki describes this ship as having a below average fire starting chance. But on paper, that's not true. Ooh, am I showing broadside here? Ooh, jeez, I'm lucky to not get smacked. But yeah, so the game describes it as being a below average fire starter. each high explosive shell has 10% chance to set fire before commander skills. My commander build, I have, I think, 12% chance. So it's 12% chance every 6 seconds. And you have 9 guns. And on top of that, these are, again, German 150s, so they get that quarter caliber penetration. So not only are they setting a decent amount of fires, more than the game would like to admit, but they're also penetrating for more consistent damage. Friendly Gneisenau now just finally deciding to leave spawn, but it's a bit too late. We could have used his help earlier. I'm kind of pinned down right here. There's a Normandy and a Nelson pushing through the Charlie Cap. My division mate is being harassed over on the far east flank by a light cruiser. I can't remember what cruiser it was, but I cannot really assist because he is outside of my firing range, and I cannot move past these islands, or both of those battleships will absolutely fuck my broadside. This ship is not particularly well armored. Like I said, it only gets 16 millimeters of bow and stern plating, which means, 203 millimeter guns hurt. Any caliber gun larger than that pretty much will overmatch us. And there goes my division mate, taken out by the Maz, who was assisting the cruiser on the flank. The Maz does go down to our friendly Maz, and the torpedoes on the Normandy hit home for my first kill, landing 4 torpedoes, dev strike on the Normandy. So now we are even on kills again, 3-3. I have a Graf Spee coming in. That was who was harassing my teammate, my division mate. He's finally in firing range, but it's still a bit dangerous to poke out from this island because there is still a Nelson over there. The Maz is laying smoke, but the Graf Spee has me in a crossfire, which means he is spotting me. If I can take him out, I can go ghosted, though. So the torpedoes are really the only, I'm not going to say bad thing, but they're the only thing about, and there goes the Graf Spee as well, picking up my second kill for 74,500 damage, but the torpedoes on this ship are exactly the same as the Königsberg at tier 4, which is a good thing and a bad thing. 64 knots, 6 kilometers, just like pretty much all German cruiser and battleship torpedoes. You get 12 of them, which it is a pretty heavy torpedo broadside. I say that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's good because, well, they're not bad torpedoes, but it's bad because, well, these are exactly the same torpedoes you get on a tier 4 cruiser, now on a tier 5 cruiser. You could argue that the Königsberg had tier 5 torpedoes on a tier 4, which made it exceptional, but half glass full, half glass empty. So the Gneisenau, who was camping in our spawn, decides to put on his big boy pants and assists in taking out the Nelson. So we are even on kills, but we are somewhat divided. I'm going to see if I can assist my team taking Charlie, it looks like. We do have a lone battleship, who I believe is the Colorado, sailing by himself towards Alpha. So he's going to run into... Oh, it's a Warspite, excuse me. So he's going to run into what I can only imagine to be an ungodly firestorm of fire coming from every which direction. But yeah, so this is a very good ship. It's a very good ship in solo play, division play. You can see it works really well. If you have a good teammate to spot for you, like I did, even though he was getting harassed by multiple enemies, he was spotting. The fire arcs are decent. You can lob over islands, not like American light cruisers or British light cruisers, but You can lob over islands fairly easily. You also have the turrets that rotate 360 degrees at the rear, which is an extreme benefit. Which means if you are engaging a target off of your port side, you do not need to rotate the whole 180, 270 degrees to your starboard side. You could just cut straight through the center line of the ship, and it takes a fourth of the time. But this ship, again, I struggled with. It's not a bad ship. It's quite a good ship. It just, the competition is a lot more fierce at tier 5, and it just seems like the ship is harder to play than it actually is. You cannot play it like a Königsberg. You actually have to, Warspite picks up a kill on a Poltava, very nice. You can't play it like a Königsberg. You have to play it like a passive Königsberg, because at tier 4 you're facing tier 3s. Tier 3s often can't hit the broadside of a barn, but when you're facing tier 6s can and will one-shot you without hesitation. So you have to play it like a more passive Königsberg, and that's where I think I had issues with, because I assumed, since it was basically just an upgraded Königsberg in every way, concealment, AA, fire rate, speed, everything, I think maybe I was getting a bit too confident. And if you guys notice my cruiser gameplay, I do tend to be a bit overconfident, and that's why I tend to explode violently very often. So right now we've captured Charlie. We do have Bravo, but I don't suspect we're going to have Bravo for long. Our DD is on low health, as you can see there. He's got a sliver of health left, and he is being closed in by multiple enemies. Now the Trento is taking the long way. He is trying to get us in a crossfire. There the Maz goes down, so it is just me, and I believe it was the Gunais now. Trento is attempting to get us into a crossfire. There's a spotter plane. He's trying to get us spotted. And I am cornered. The Trento is coming around the far side of this island. The Maz will likely cap and cut through and try and cap A, which means he will be coming probably through these gaps in the island. We're not sure what the New Mexico is going to be doing. Let's keep an eye out for him. So right now I'm just kind of utilizing the firing arcs of the back turret to see if I could get shots out at this Trento. Armor piercing into my broadside will hurt. These are Italian 203s. But if I could maybe get shots off over this island. No, it looks like he cut in. There are the Maz torpedoes. Completely predictable. We didn't need hydroacoustic search to know those are coming. Although the hydroacoustic search is very powerful. It is your stereotypical German hydroacoustic search, long duration, long range, and again, better than the Königsbergs. But Trento is coming around broadside. I overlead. I expect him to keep going, but he does not. But not only does he not get into cover, he just kind of sits there. Don't know why, but it does allow me to get a quick, cheeky salvo off, getting a Citadel on him. I don't know, it's not looking too hot. And I'm predicting the Maz, who just capped, will be coming through the gap around here soon-ish, maybe. So I'm popping my Hydro, and we're going to keep an eye out for him. Hopefully the Hydro will also spot that battleship coming around the corner. Maybe I can ambush him with torpedo. Oh, fuck. Alright. The last one left. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. What do I do here? 45 seconds left on the clock. I'm very much behind on points, but if I could kill the Trento, that'll maybe buy me some time until I can kill the Maz. Armor piercing into his broadside. I think I'm going to pick up my third kill. Are you kidding me? All right. I think I'm going to pick up my third kill. There we go. All right. And let's see. Can I push forward and take out this Maz and not get obliterated by this battleship? Loading the high explosive. I've got 50 seconds left on my hydro. It's not going to be enough. 4, 3, 2, 1, and GG. Yep. So that was my highest damage. That was one of the highest damage games I've got in the Nurnberg. Just under 100k damage. 3 kills, 4 sits, 9 defends, 1500 base XP, almost 1600 base XP on a loss. If I was on their winning team, I would have made better than most of their team. But yeah, so the Nurnberg on Tears of the Cruisers map, 98,000 damage. I think that's my record for that ship, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But if you would like to see more, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe for more amateur reviews by Stegosaur. I will catch you next time. Peace.
For you too, like it was really coming at you. I mean, I can't hate. It worked, I guess.